on a study of the human experience. Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Volume 1. There's got to be a volume 2 in the works, surely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's been such an interesting path for you to get to this point. I mean, like, everyone thinks that your career is born from TikTok, but really it was kind of born out of your name being drawn out of a hat. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I started doing music when I was 7. I started going to Nashville at 10. And then by the time I met Kara, who you were talking about, I was in Nashville for around 4 years. So, like, definitely, let's see, yeah, try to do quick math. I'm like, yeah, no. Yeah. But yeah, I met Kara DeGuardi when I was 14, and she developed me as a songwriter and an artist. And, like, literally, I would not be the writer I am today without her. And I mean, she inspired me so much and, like, definitely pushed me as an artist and writer.
I love the idea of, like, a super young you getting in the room with people to write songs. Like, having them be open to it as well.
I mean, like, the thing is when I was younger, there's definitely difficulties that came with it due to just people having a lack of respect for me, or having, like, boundaries. Like, it's not even boundaries, because I feel like that's not even, like, putting me in a box more than anything. Being like, you can't sing about love because you're 10. And I'm like, I get it. But, like, if I want to sing about love, you should let me. You know,
Yeah.
like I, as the older person in the room, is deciding for you what you can and cannot say. And me being stubborn was like, no, I don't like that. Like, no. It definitely got easier when I got older. But I've been, like, co-writing since I was 10, and it used to literally just be like, oh my God, I used to write with so many country, like, older men. Like, I've literally been 10 and written with, like, 60-year-olds before.
Wow. Did you have a chaperone with you in those rooms?
I did it. Well, my mom would, like, bring me to the right, or it kind of depends. Like, most of the time, especially if it was an older man, I would never write in their house. They would always come to my house. Or there's also places in Nashville that have writers' rooms. So, like, you can, like, rent out a writer's room for 6 hours, and then my mom would, like, meet the person. And then if it's, like, a professional spot, she would feel comfortable enough to leave me there. Or sometimes she would just, like, sit outside the door. I never really wanted her in the room. I would respect it if it was, like, a safety thing. But a lot of the times it was just because, like, I always want to feel like I did the work. Like, I put myself in the song, and I don't like people doing things for me. And so that was definitely something I did not want her to do for me in any way.
Wow, fierce independence. And now you're at this point where you have more monthly Spotify listeners than the population of Australia. That's crazy. You know that?
I literally never thought about that. That's crazy.
Like, and by a big margin. Like, I think Australia's 26 million people. You've got 33 million monthly Spotify listeners. That's a sizable margin.
Crazy. No, that's what, you know, what's crazier, or not crazier. I had 12,000 monthly listeners before ABC came out.
Then, like, what? How long ago was that? Like, a year, 2 years?
I was not even. I released that song August 13th, 2021.
Oh my God, not even a freaking year. That's wild. Okay, well, let's talk about ABCDEFU quickly, because this one blew up on TikTok. The subject of that song wanted to be a TikToker. That's a big ABCDEFU to him.
Yeah, I actually literally just, like, I have so not thought about him in, like, a personal relationship way in, like, so long, because, like, I wrote the song August of 2020. So, like, it's been a minute. It's almost about, soon enough, it'll be 2 years since I've written that song, you know? And, like, after that, it was probably like 9 or 10 months after, like, the whole relationship when I wrote that song to even let myself get mad. So, like, we haven't dated in such a long time. It's been almost like 3 years we haven't dated. So, like, I have not thought about, like, our relationship in so long. And I was thinking about it today, and I just remembered literally that he wanted to be a TikToker. Like, that's what he wanted to do. I am a stalker and know that he has since gone private on all of his accounts that I know of. But for the longest time, that is what he wanted to do with his life.
It's like, so weird.
A stalker. But also, like, I don't want to, like, pick this kid apart, but also I already really have in so many ways. But, like, you know, it's just, like, also was very half-assedly decided, you know, like, which is very, like, you know what, I don't want to go to college, I guess I'll just do TikTok and, like, make a career off of it. I'll just do TikTok.
It's that easy. It's that easy. Did you feel like an immense sense of pressure off the back of this release? Obviously, it went bonkers. And for someone who's, had not an expansive body of work, you're pretty new in the scene. That would
Especially
have
like,
been huge. That would have been a big weight on your shoulders.
yeah, I mean, yes and no. I feel like the biggest pressure was just like not knowing how it was going to do, because like that was my first time signing, like that was my first song through Atlantic. I'm like a 17-year-old girl, and so because of that too, they were taking like a shot on me, like I didn't really have a here's a song that's viral or anything. We believe in you and believe in your music. And so like not knowing what was going to happen, I feel like was more pressure than anything, because also like people always say, and I completely understand, and like people are like, oh my god, the pressure of ABC, like doing something after that must be so much pressure. And it's like, I honestly think it'd be more pressure if nothing happened with ABC, like that would be pressure to try and like,
Still
okay,
stand your ground.
what
Yeah.
else can we do, like trying to figure that out also would have been really like stressful.
Yeah, it's definitely a good problem to have.
Yeah, and I feel like also when you're messing with your hopes and dreams, there's just gonna be pressure. Like in it, be pressure that you put on yourself, because if it's everything you've wanted, or if that's like truly what you want to do with your life, and it's like in the hands of people just listening to your music, like that's a stressful thing.
Particularly in the creative industries where it's so subjective as it is and so unstable as it is. Totally. I totally get that. You have followed it up with an incredible debut EP. It's fully kaleidoscopic. It's like it's angsty, but like you're talking directly to someone who pissed you off with ABCDEFU. You've got yourself for sleeping with friends. You've got a friend that you slept with who's like now a completely different person. You've got a best friend who slept with an ex in there, and then you've got yourself who's wanting to dive completely into love. It's very holistic, which I love. And then also you've got yourself kind of portraying it through different colors on your social media. Are
Mhm.
you synesthetic? Do you have
Yeah,
synesthesia?
I have chromesthesia, which is like a little
Oh,
different. I should probably figure out the difference before I like really start talking
I
about
was
it.
going
But
to ask, what is the difference?
I feel like the biggest difference, and this is me talking straight out of my ass, but like with Billy and her synesthesia, like even the like experiences that she did, you knew the temperature of the room, you know what day of the week it is, like the sense of it. Like she has like so many, and I personally there might be a color to it. Like I don't want to like speak on her behalf, but like there are all those tiny details that she just knew. And like for this, it's just a color. I could say like, oh, it's a Tuesday, but it doesn't, like I'm just saying like, oh, it like feels like a Tuesday. When I'm saying it's red, it's red. It's a red. It is red. But if I like it's a Tuesday or maybe it's a Thursday, well, like that's just like speaking of like, yeah, but like I see the color. Like I don't feel the fact that it's a Tuesday. I like see and feel the fact that it's a red song. Like I see the color, but it's not like how I see my hand and then there's just like red swirling all over. It's not like that. Like I just like
It's in the
it,
back of the mind.
yeah, and I see it. It's like a square and it's like red. And I'm like, that's cool. you know?
So interesting. Well, let's dive into some of the tracks, beginning with Love Starved. What color is that one? That one
Love
pink?
Carved. That one's, yeah, it's kind of like a reddish pink. It's technically like a pink that has more of like a red undertone with it.
Ooh, I like that. And I
Mhm.
also really enjoyed how this one kind of flicks into like a demo kind of at the end. Where was that vocal take recorded?
It was recorded actually. I very quickly, I like never I'm so bad at enunciating my songs and I get it. Like I know. And then like I was playing Love Starved for people and I realized that nobody could understand the first two lines. Like nobody. And I was in LA and I didn't have like any studio or anything. And I was really lucky that Atlantic had a studio. And so then I went into the studio and there's just an engineer there and I re-recorded the two lines and I was like, no, I really want this thing for the last chorus, because I originally, the day of session, it wasn't originally a piano song, it was all on guitar and it was on specifically electric guitar. And so the end of the chorus went to an acoustic guitar and it was in the room, but Sarah and I were singing it. And then I wanted to switch it to just piano and then Sarah wasn't there. So then I just did it myself. And yeah, I have a video of me recording it too that I need to find somewhere because I recorded every take that I did. And yeah,
You
I
need
ran
to
through it like,
post that.
Oh, I will. I think I will when the song comes out.
Yeah.
Or like when like, when like I can do all of them and then show the
Yeah, yeah,
videos.
yeah. I love that. One of my favorites is Kiddie Pool, and I know that you're kind of a ballad girl yourself. Where did that song come to life? Tell me about its fruition.
Well, that was if I look back, that was the first song I wrote for the project.
Oh,
I wrote Kiddie Pool when I was 15. And it was like I wrote Z when I was 15 as well, but I think I did Kiddie Pool before I did Z. That's when it starts getting a little blurry around that time because it was almost like 2 years ago. Or it was 2 years ago, which is crazy. But I was just like, so it was a Kiddie Pool was about this same person I wrote ABC about, funny enough, which I think is really ironic. And it was because like I just loved him so much and I wanted to love him. And like, like for ABC to even exist, like I had to love that person so much. And
oh,
that's why
100%. Yeah.
I don't want anything shallow from you. Like I want all of you. And even was like, I have my leave you before you leave me. Like I hate being needy, but I need you to need me, where it's like, I have so many like abandonment issues, or like loving people is really difficult because that means they matter to you, which means when they leave it actually hurts. And like, I can go into all of that like and have an hour and a half therapy session with you and not even get to like a fourth of the things I feel when I love people, and it's so terrifying. And like I think that was the thing with that song too, where it's like it's so intimidating to love somebody. It's so scary to admit the fact that you want that from somebody. And so sometimes it's easier to put it into a song than to say it straight to their face.
That's with so many things. But I think living life in those extremities makes beautiful art, like what you've gotten out of it. You wouldn't be here without putting yourself on the line like that. You wouldn't have had ABCDFU.
And it's also like really, it's so masochistic and beautiful to love. It's so ridiculous how like freeing it is to do something even though it might hurt, but doing it anyways. It's such a beautiful experience. It sucks so much, so hard, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where you're like, I'm either going to end up with this person forever or I'm going to have the worst heartbreak ever, And you're like, it's so, yeah, I totally get you. Okay. I know that we've seen Olivia Rodrigo championing you. She's DM'd you saying, congratulations, you're amazing. You're now in the same position as a chart topper to be championing other young women in the pop industry. Who are you loving at the moment? Who are you DMing?
Oh, you know what? Jessie Murph. She's really good. I've been DMing her. Really awesome. Viva Doobie, I think, is awesome. Chloe Lilac is an amazing artist. Carly Hansen, I actually just saw her on my show a couple days ago. She's awesome. I love her. Obviously Olivia. I don't need to be pushing her up in any way.
Wait, who?
Yeah, I mean, she's absolutely incredible. Other female, I don't know why I'm like blanking right now. I'm trying to think.
This is a good list. You're very good at covering the list.
Russo. She's this chick in Nashville. She's so good. She's so good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like those, I can name so many others, but I feel like even a lot of those people I named, I don't need to be like lifting up in any way. But I could keep listing, but there are people that you're probably already gonna know.
No, that's a good playlist. That's a good playlist beginner. Okay, you came up through the pandemic. You've been doing some touring, which must be wild to see these numbers translated into bodies. Are you coming to Australia anytime soon?
I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out. It's because like also timing wise, like what's Christmas for me is summer for you. And so it's like Christmas in the music industry is like the time we have off. And so it's figuring out like how I can get time to like sleep, but then also be able to like come to Australia and do that. And I've also never left the States before. So I'm really excited to just like have the ability to do that as well. But yes, like I'm 100% making plans. It's just kind of figuring out because also it's like one of those things where like, because I've never toured before, I don't know what it's like after 6 months of touring. How do I feel? Do I want to go and like go out and tour and do more stuff, or do I need to wait 2 weeks and then go out and do that? Like just kind of trying to figure out all of those things out. And then also like working on a project while touring, like trying to figure all of those things out, but I'm definitely making plans 100%.
Well, when it happens, I'll show you around Australia. I'll give you the best tour.
Please do. I can put that hair. You can dye my hair green. It'll be great.
Yes, we can do the hair swap. Gayle, it's been so lovely to chat to you. Congrats on the EP.
Chatting with you. Thank you.